Greetings, it's Bill Fitzgerald again, back with another episode of FSOTPrep. In this video, I hope to show you an overview, I will show you an overview of what the test in October will look like, the 4 different parts. I won't go down too deep on any of those. I'm going to be handling them individually in videos over the weekend or early next week. In any case, here we are, FSOT exam. And the FSOT has 4 different parts. There's the job knowledge portion, which you're probably aware of, the English expression and usage, the situational judgment test. Now, that's a new test that was brought back. It's been used in various companies and government agencies. In any case, it reappeared in the State Department test in October of 2017. So it's really just a year old, at least this new iteration of it. In fact, it's so new that a lot of the information that you're looking for on the situational judgment test hasn't been updated. In fact, I'm going to show you an important piece of helping you prepare the practice test that they offer, and that doesn't have situational judgment questions on it. But I know of a number of websites that do provide practice tests and that sort of thing. In a lot of ways, situational judgment is common sense, and treat your brother as you would treat yourself. It's, basic management skills, praise and public, punish in private, that sort of thing. But in any case, that'll be, I'll devote a whole video to that, as I will to the other ones. And finally, you have the essay. And I can't encourage you enough to start writing now. It's going to be the typical 5-paragraph essay that we all did in middle school and high school. What is different here, though, is I say essay or essays. A lot of times, Pearson VUE, which is the administrator of the test, and the State Department throw in an extra essay. The extra essay won't count for anything. It's basically there for test purposes and to see whether it does well on in the FSOT. In any case, the problem is you don't know which one of the essays that you're completing is the right one, so you have to do well on both of them. And again, start writing. Think 250 words, pull issues out of the Washington Post, New York Times, and the weekend sections. They have great weekend review. And take a line from there and write your 5-paragraph essay. And I'll go into more instruction as we go through the other categories, the other sections. In any case, I will come back shortly with a deeper view at the job knowledge. For now, I just want to give you a taste of what the categories are, what the subjects are. Now, some of you have already taken the test, are familiar with these and familiar with how the test is. But for those who are not, you're basically looking at these 8 categories. And they're all fairly straightforward. Again, when I come back and do a much bigger review of the job knowledge and teaching you how to prepare for the job knowledge test, I will provide you with resources, some of them online for free, others you may have to buy a book. And, I know some people who never had economics in college or high school, so that's going to be something new for them, and there are questions. In fact, I'm convinced I took the test when I was 7 years outside of college, when my last econ course was then. I didn't do much preparing, and I certainly didn't prepare for economics. And I say to this day that I probably would have been a crackerjack economics officer if only I had passed the econ on the FSOT, what we called the Foreign Service exam back then. In any case, there are ways to study these subjects, and I will help you to learn how to do that. Okay, and let me stop here and give you, I want to show you where you can find, here it is, the instructions to the online practice FSOT. Click here to continue. I'm going to give you the website in the comments below, because I couldn't find it without Googling official FSOT practice test. And it's a shorter version, and the questions are fairly straightforward and actually a little bit easy, but it does provide you with job knowledge questions, running the gamut, and it does provide you with a healthy number of English expression and usage questions, so you're prepared for that as well. Now, there is no situational judgment. As I said, they're only a year behind, so I'm sure they're racing to catch up. But I think there are a number of websites that provide very good information on the website. On their websites, and actually practice tests. And of course the essay, the State Department's not going to grade the essay here. Prior to the situational judgment test, many people will remember it was the Biographical Information Questionnaire. Well, that's gone, and we have situational judgment right now. And I encourage you to take this test. Not only because it's a good practice test, but it will show you areas where perhaps you're weak. And I would encourage you to focus on those areas. The areas where you're strong, where you score a perfect score on, say, the English expression and usage, well, then skip those. Don't prepare for those. You've already shown that you can answer any of those questions. And likewise, if it's American history, well, you're going to have to brush up on American history. Again, I can provide resources that will help you. Some you have to pay for. Some are free online. I'm a big devotee. I'm a big supporter of khanacademy.com. No, it's .org. Forgive me. I'll put the notes down below as well, the website for Khan Academy. That's particularly good for the U.S. history and economics, and maybe management as well. I haven't seen much of their management stuff. Economics management, it will give you, starting from the base level to, going up. And another point I'd like to make to you is that just because you didn't graduate with a degree in economics does not mean you can't be an economics officer. And in fact, the department offers to mid-level econ officers a 1-year, effectively a master's level course in economics to get you up to speed. Microeconomics, macroeconomics, maybe even throwing in a little bit of econometrics. It's a 1-year course, and it's one of the few I've heard of in the State Department where they actually rank order the people depending on how well or how poorly they graduated. And they use that rank order in selecting their next assignments. So it's all, if you haven't decided on your career track, please go ahead and do that, because the longer you take, and I know it's a tough decision. I was a consular officer, proud to be a consular officer. I did less than half of my career in the consular cone, but I think I was an aberration of sorts because I was willing to go to places other people didn't want to go. In any case, choose your career track and then find your test center. You want to get a test center that's close to you. I think I mentioned in one of the previous videos, I live in Charleston, South Carolina now. And yes, there's a test center in Charleston, thank you very much. But if I don't get into that test center, I can't. Obviously, I've had 24 years in the Foreign Service. They wouldn't look happily at me coming back through the front doors. But if I were to take the test in Charleston and I missed it, closest places like Myrtle Beach or Savannah, and those are both 2.5 hours away. You don't want to be racing out the door on the day of the test. In fact, if you do get your test center in your hometown, go and play some reconnaissance. Go do some reconnaissance on the test site so you're not press A and you're not caught in traffic or something like that. So you know where it is, you know how to get there, you know where the door is, you have no problems that way. In any case, as I said, I'll leave the show notes down below, and as well as the URLs for the important sites. Please take the Practice Foreign Service Officers Test. It will give you a much better idea of what you need to study. And I will be back soon with a deeper dive into the job knowledge test. And you saw the different areas, but I'll be able to give you more specific information and just the sort of types of things that they'll be looking for. And yes, in the mathematics and statistics section, you will likely be asked to make calculations on some of your questions. So I do believe that a State Department, that the test center does give you a scrap. You get a scrap paper, or maybe it's something that can be like a whiteboard sort of thing that you can write on with non-permanent magic markers. But in any case, I'll see you soon when we discuss job knowledge. Thanks very much.